Having a great day and a great weekend. Okay, I've done quite a bit of changes to the sculpture. I mean, it still has a lot left to do. Hold on. Still have a lot left to do, but not too much. I think I can get most of it done in tonight. That's what I'm hoping on anyway. Yeah, I got to fix the ears just a little bit more, and I'm going to talk about what I've done so far, and I'm going to do some work on it as we're live here. I've got my computer on. Let me just turn it so you can see. I can talk to you guys live. But first, let's do this. Let me share what I'm doing. We don't need to see the bottom of the neck. We just need to see the head. Okay, and the chin. Okay. Now let me share it on Facebook, and then I'll get into what I've done to the sculpture and have made significant changes on the scowl. Right in here, the scowl wasn't protruding out far enough, and that's why now it really starting to come together. It's really starting to look, the proportions are correct. I think the nose is dropped down just a little too, it's not sticking up just enough, just a little bit too low, but that's okay. I can probably live with that. We'll see. What I want to do is I'm going to continue this work while I'm on live. Let me share on Facebook so you guys can come join me. Hopefully you're not watching the football games yet because the Eagles don't come on until 4:30 today. So I'm pretty much waiting on that. Let's refresh. Let's click live. Okay. Refresh. All right, that's better. Now I can see. All right, so turn the volume down so we're not getting feedback. Let me copy the link, post it on Facebook. I'm the only one on so far. Let me get seated and let us begin. All right. Everybody on. Hello, 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 America. All right. Glasses off. Can't see with them on anyway. They're only good for distance for me anymore. My glasses are too should I say, just made for far distance now. All right, so I can see little imperfections here and there, just to take out the bumps. I have the lights way overhead now. I drop them down just so I can get this all right. I'm the only one on so far, but it's Sunday and a lot of football games are on. My Eagles play. I think Dallas is playing. So I'm pretty sure I'm not going to have a large audience today, which is okay. I'm only going to work for maybe an hour or two. And let me explain what I've done so far. Let me turn this thing toward you a little bit. Okay. So basically, what I've done is I've bumped out this scowl here pretty far. I put that little ripple in the nose here. It's still kind of concaved in here. I made it a little too rounded, it just wasn't natural looking. And what I'm going off of is this actual replica of the H, or this is come on, man, I'm lethargic today. I didn't get a lot of sleep. It's this is William Shatner. This is his life cast, and this is a plastic mask that Trick or Treat Studios sells. Now, I think some of the details aren't accurate, but some of the details are, and from what I've seen. The lips are pretty accurate. The scowl is accurate from what I've seen in other actual life casts. This is a smaller hard shell. I basically am using the lips, as you can see. I don't want these lips exactly, so what I'm actually trying to do is give you the essence of these lips in this sculpture, all right? But I also want to, I have to drop this down a little bit more too. That's all right, let me do that real quick since I see it. Okay, that's a little better. But the what I'm actually trying to do is give you the flashback lips. I want it to look similar to the Shatner life cast, but I really need the lips to look more like the flashback. Um, and I'm getting to that. I'll have that pretty honed in, probably quite a bit while we're streaming here. Say hello, whoever's on with me. I can read your comments because I have my computer up and running. Um, but I've bumped out the scowl so far, and that made it. It just fixed all the problems. When I started seeing, when I looked at this, I looked at it from a down view, and the reason why this the eyebrow lines weren't matching up to my scowl was because my scowl was too shallow. It wasn't far enough out. What it also did, once I bumped the scowl out, I had to bump out the eye line in here underneath of each eye right in here. I bumped that out, so now that actually gave me the angle that I needed. All right, it's the angle this way. It gave me the right angle on both sides of the shape of the eye that slants back onto the head. What else did I do? Yeah, and I was able to put that little ridge line. You can see this little ridge line here with the scowl that comes into the nose. You've got it comes down into the nose here, and then there's a little bit of bump right in here, and I put that in there. But it still has to be refined a little bit more and smoothed out. Yeah, this has more of a natural look to it now, and I also shaved away a lot of the scowl was sticking way too far up into here. It was like literally going way too high, and the scowl only needs to be right here. This is it, right in this area generalized, and everything else is kind of smoothed out. These bump outs on the sides is what gives you the illusion that the scowl goes further up, and it really doesn't. So the bump outs, I mean, they're kind of here on this. You can see it. Wait a minute. Let me bring it up into the. You can see the bump outs right in here a little bit, but they're not as high up as they are on the flashback mask. So I'm leaving this a little higher, like it is on the flashback. All right. I like the combination of this versus the flashback mask, and I don't know. There's just elements that I'm still not quite there yet with this. Like I want to bump out this little area right in here. There's a bump right in here. There's also a bump over here, and it kind of drops down. Yeah, it's close. We're close. We're not perfect, and I really don't want to replicate this too much, but I want to make sure that the flashback really shows through on this. There's a little bit of a bump that's right here. That's a little too high. I'm going to take that down just a little bit. The light's really making it pop, but we don't want that to pop too much because it looks too much of a ridge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that down right now with a little bit of. We want the bump there, but very subtle. Better, 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 better. It looks better already. Hey, take off. Let me throw my glasses on. I got to keep them on the top of my head to be able to read that text from this distance. Yeah, I changed the scowl. I found the problem why the eyebrows didn't look right, and I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't, as long as so I went out and I bought this life cast plastic mask from Trick or Treat Studios, and when I turned it down this way, I could see where the problem was. You could see how the bump outs or the scowl protrudes a lot further out over the bridge of the nose, and the eyebrow goes on top of that and then drops down in between. My sculpture was literally just way too flat in this area. It wasn't sticking out far enough, and it really changed the way this looks. Let me look at that. Let me drop it down so you can see. You see what I'm saying? Um, yeah, it's and when I did bump this out, I had to fill in underneath the eye and bring this out further because that was really sunk in too far. And the face looked just a little too flat. Just by bumping out that scowl, really, it brought the face in right. It just completely brought it in to where it needed to be. Because where the cheek lines are on here, they're identical. They look good here. This wouldn't. It just didn't tie it in right. It's so. What happens now is when you turn it on its side, now the face looks right. Yeah, the chin is shorter. The problem I'm not liking too much is the distance between the top of this lip here and the bottom of where this crevice is, right in here. I mean, it's close, but if you look at this, the chin is much wider than the underneath part of this. This is from the life cast, this mask. Um, it's a longer distance between the top of the lip to the nose. Uh, the distance between here and the middle of the crack of the lip and the bottom of the chin are identical. And in my case, let me see something. Let's see something. In order to get that exactly right, I'd have to probably drop my lip line just a little bit further down to get it exact. So I might be wrong. Let me just check. Ooh. Let me see something here. There's my caliper. All right, so I'm just trying to get it so where it's. I mean, it's for such a small adjustment. I don't think I want to do it. I don't think I'm going to mess with it. To tell you the truth, the adjustment's so small, and if I change that adjustment, I'm not molding this week. So I got to get this molded, or I'm not going to have a mask for my brother. I know, I know. I'm in a no man's. I'm in a no win situation here. Oh yeah, I still got to do the eyebrow in here. I don't. it's all smoothed out. I just placed everything in. Once that scowl was in place, right now these eyebrows, it makes sense. Now it makes sense that this drops down, like you were saying in the other video, where my old scowl, it kept wanting to just run flat right against it because this was not protruding out far enough. The scowl was definitely way wrong. And the problem is we're looking at two-dimensional pictures, and we don't have all the angles, and it makes it really tough. Um, yes, I put the wrinkles in here. I'm gonna make it just a little bit more subtle, but that's in place now. So I want it right. I want it right. I mean, I'm sitting there trying to make a base sculpt that's going to give us 1978 and all the other masks out of this sculpture. But I think I'm going to change my approach on that because I'm not in any rush to get this out for Halloween. Collectors aren't buying just because it's Halloween. They're buying it whenever it's done, and we want it to be a nice piece. I'm not really aiming for a large market of people. I'm aiming for the collectors mainly. I want the collectors to appreciate this and put it on their shelf and really love it. And that's my real goal. It's not so much because anytime you make a copyrighted piece of art like this, uh, you're very limited to how many you can sell because they'll come after you if you mass produce this. I can't mass produce this. Even if I could, I can't because I don't have the time or the energy for this, so to speak. Um, but I don't have a picture up because I'm talking to you guys. Reminds me a little bit of the NAG 2000 mold. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I look at nags and I'm like, man, that's just amazing artwork. But what I found out with nag, now tell me if I'm wrong. Um, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm wrong, right, or I'm not. So I'm not. I'm not saying they did this, but I hope they didn't, man, because I really I like artists that start from scratch. Um, I heard. I'm not sure how I heard this. It might have been on a video from somebody. It was a guy that was on that got one of the masks, and he claimed that Nag got a hold of an original mask. All right, of the William Shatner mask. The Captain Kirk mask. They got a hold of a Captain Kirk mask, and they copied it. Now, does that mean did they copy it from scratch as a sculpture, or did they foam fill it? And I think that's hard to believe. Well, I don't know though because it depends on what you do to the outer side of it. In other words, if I harden the latex, which can be done pretty easy, if I make a resin, just a resin copy over this, let's say it's latex. Here's a latex mask. It's very thick, but I could put a silicone mold over top of this and get a really nice copy of it, and then basically uh, uh, replicate it to a T without sculpting. You don't have to do much work if you have the general shape of the face. Everything I'm doing from scratch. I'm not doing anything here trying to rep. I don't. There's no casting. I don't have I don't know silicone. I'm sculpting. This is right from this. Looking at pictures and sculpting right from pictures. I'm not sure whether they did that or did they copy the actual or replicate or foam fill and literally make a master copy of the actual mask. I don't know. Um, when I heard that guy say that on that video, I thought, man, it just took away all my. I won't do that. I will never do that. I mean, there's no point in sculpting if I'm going to just make a master copy of a mask that already exists. Um, there's no art in that. There's just you're just copying somebody's work. Um, I don't consider anybody copying if they're trying to replicate a mask through their art and their sculpting ability. It's not easy, and man, anybody that I would never criticize anybody because you guys watch me. I'm having a hard time as it is, and every time I discover something new, I go, I got to do this now. I got to do that now. But I'm getting there. I'm honing this in. There's some people can knock this out in 6 months, and some people can knock it out in 2 months. they're great artists, or they're so much more familiar with the actual face than I am. I'm not that familiar with this face. I mean, outside of seeing it in the movie theaters, in the movies, but I'm not seeing this like this. You have this right in front of you. You can really replicate anything that's right in front of you that's in 3 dimension. I can make a perfect copy of this, or damn near close to a perfect copy of this, because it's right here in front of me, in 3 dimensional. But I don't want to make this face. This is not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to take elements from it because I want to make a flashback from here at some point. And let me read your comment again because I got to put my glasses down, of course. Keep falling off my head. Yeah, and I got a 98 Kirk from Don Post in his hands, which is a direct recast of the 75 Kirk. Yeah, see, now that's not, I mean, all right, look, if you're not real skilled at sculpting, okay. I mean, and if they openly admit that, then that's just what they did. I'm not going to fault them for it. But it kind of takes away my thought on. I actually just thought these guys were that good, at sculpting. And the more I do this, man, the harder, and the more I see, then I got to retool it and retool it and retool it. But I'm pushed for time right now because my brother needs this mask for Halloween. He's got an event that he has to do during the Halloween. I think the week of Halloween. So I've got to push to get this done. I'm going to watch my Eagles win or lose tonight. My Philadelphia Eagles football. They don't come on until 4:30, and then I'm going to come right back on later on tonight after the game's over, and I'm going to get this thing done. I'm going to get it done as best to my ability so far. So, I just keep pushing, man. It's just really tough takeoff vision. I just keep, I keep finding new things, and I listen to you guys. You guys have got a good eye because you're collecting this mask. You're looking at this all the time. You probably have some really good masks in your collection and I don't have any. I don't have any outside of what Trick or Treat Studios. I don't have any good replicas of this mask at all in my possession. So everything I'm doing is from pictures. Maybe you can look at that as saying, okay, you guys are real artists, or you're going to say, maybe you should go get a couple masks. But I don't know. I think that I don't know. I just think that I don't want to. I like doing things the hard way. Somebody try to talk me into, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you're not real good at an artist, or you don't want to spend the time. Some people are. Right now, the fine tuning I'm doing now is so subtle that you're not really going to see any change here as I'm doing this today. I'm just smoothing out some of where the clay comes together. Hold on. Where did that tool go? There it is. Nope, not small enough. Alright, so I'm trying to blend in. You see where the new piece came into the top of the eyebrow here? I have to blend that in a little bit. That's too small. I'm blocking your view of what I'm doing. Hold on. Now this is hard because I'm doing this left-handed. But I'm hitting this thing so soft. Hold on, I need the cutting edge. There we go. I'm hitting this so subtle, you know, and I'm trying to just blend this piece back um, into the sculpture. But boy, when I bulged out this scowl here the correct way, uh, that changed the eye. It brought the eyebrow up higher naturally over here, and it brought it up. It brought it down lower, and it's because of the shape of the V. The V, this is a little higher going. It's going more steep this way, and this one's a little bit more of an angle this way. Um, just the little subtleties that really can. And this actually has more of a lumpy, natural look to it, feel. Um, my other one, I'll show you. Hold on. See how, see how smooth this is? Let me see if I can get this into where you can see it. See how smooth that is? It's all smooth. You should see the difference. Hold on. Let me turn this so you can see what I'm saying on how much I bumped it out. I gotta do this and turn it. So you can see. Let me see. A little further. Let me see if I can get this lined up so where you can see both of them. See how much further that scowl is sticking out now? Let me back this up a little bit so you can see and try to position it. See how much further that scowl's sticking out? Just look at the bridge of the nose, right where the nose comes into the scowl. See how sharp and it makes a world of difference. It really does. That's why the eyebrows weren't sitting right. It just didn't look right. You know, and as an artist, the hardest part is seeing the issues, seeing the problems. You know, you have to identify. Now I need to look at this dead on to work on it where I'm working on it today. The only thing is, I'm just trying to put a natural. That'll work. All right. Oh, yeah. Here's a better hoop. Here we go. Yeah, that's a big difference. You know what? Let's do this. Let's make my marks where my hairline's going to be. I'm worried about that when I get to that point. I'll make it more accurate. I don't have the picture in front of me right now. And once I stick naphtha on this, it'll smooth it out. So I should have used a piece of plastic over top of this, but my next move is going to be taking this blade and digging into the bigger areas. Now once I stick the naphtha on there, it'll smooth it out really nice. Yeah, I know. You see it just like I do. No need to keep going into areas where I already did it. I'm just focusing on what I didn't do, or redid, so to speak. Okay, now let's take a little naphtha on a brush. Maybe if I can find my brush. Here's that little tool, sucker. Couldn't find that tool. Oh, there's my brush. Okay. Looking on the wrong side, of course. That's what I do. Always look in the wrong place. All right, glasses back on, in case you guys said anything that I can. Okay, well then that's cool. I don't have any problem. The 98 prototype you're saying, that was the only one that he did. I saw a high speed sculpture that he did, and I learned something in that high speed sculpture that he did of Nico's when he did that high speed sculpture of a Captain Kirk mask. If you took notice, the shape of the Captain Kirk head was already done because the armature that he used underneath of the clay already had, it was a Captain Kirk head. It literally was shaped just like the Captain Kirk. All he had to do was actually just press all the clay into it, about a half-inch thick on there, and then he already had the shape there. I don't know if you've ever seen these Ed heads, but they are not shaped like Captain Kirk at all. So there's a big difference doing it off an Ed head, because you literally have to completely shape the head of the Captain Kirk, which I plan on doing a master stone replica of this. That's my plan anyway. I'm going to do a stone replica of this sculpture. This way, if I want to tweak or make another mask, I'll have a stone armature that's shaped just like William Shatner's head. And that makes it so much easier. Oh my God. There's a ton of clay on this thing because William Shatner's jaw lines further out than like on this armature. This armature's buried in clay. It's buried in clay. I had to reshape the entire head all manually because it's an Ed head, very narrow head, a little bit bigger than one of them foam heads, but not much. Now it is bigger, but it's not basically generalized. It's the same shape. This changes everything. It really does. This Now the nose. I think my problem with the nose is it's dropping down just a little bit too much in here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some of this off and bring it up. But I got to do it so subtle. Ooh. It was a good looking nose, the way it was. By having that nose drop down so low like that, underneath of here, it made this lip look a lot shorter in distance. It's just, it is what it is. Oh, shoot. These, one thing about these Kemper tools, they're very sharp. I like, I like them a lot. I've had all the different ones, and I think the Kempers are the best when it comes to carving clay. Oh yeah. Yeah, I watched that high speed of Nico's doing that sculpture. Blows my mind as he's so fast. He did it in a couple days. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I'm nowhere near that level of art, that's for sure. Everything I do, I have to really, really study it. Um, I was never real fast. I never, even with this, the some people are just really gifted. Not many of us are that good. Much as we like to think we are, we're not. It's all right. So I want to bring in a little bit more cut into this nose. I don't know. It looks kind of natural the way it is. I don't want to overdo this because it can really mess it up real easy. One side than the other. What I've learned is, you noticed how on this side, because it's the left side and it's not my strong side, I'm right-handed, I dug from the top here and then went upward. On this side, I'm going to dig from the top down. I went from the bottom up on this side and the top down on this side to try and, yeah, no, I don't think I'm going to do too much to this. This is looking good right the way it is. There's something stuck in there though. Of course, when you've remolded this thing 1,000 times, you're going to get that. Piece of stone. Okay. Now I'm just going to try and take out some of these bumps. I know my hand's in the way. Give me a minute. I'll show you what I'm doing. Now I'm just kind of moving clay. I'm not really carving it. Yeah. Overkill. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. All right, the ears have to be done. They need to be done a little bit better. I'm going to do this whole face real quick with the brush and see how I like it. More importantly, see how you like it. Now I still got to put some, like, the lines across the forehead. Just trying to get all the carving lines out. That's what I'm trying to get out right now. I don't want any noticeable carving lines. Now, do I see one there? Yeah, I do. See if I can take this off without. Man, it's just a whisper of how I'm hitting this thing. Just a whisper. All right, now, brush again. I'm not sure I like that. I still got to shape the bottom of this nose a little bit better. No, I've been working on this, guys. I've really been working on this, but not really filming it too much. Um, I have the shape where I need them, literally the shape. But I don't have pictures up, so I don't want to make any real drastic changes while I'm doing this live because I don't have any pictures of the sculpture or the mask up on the desktop. So I don't want to go crazy making any kind of real physical changes on this thing too much because if I do, I could really put myself into hot water. Real simple. A little too much clay going here, going there, and you're. Oh yeah. Yeah, I can see. Yeah, these little bump outs right here at the top of the mouth, where the lip line is, it kind of sinks down in here. All right, where right, and then there's a little bit of a bump right in here on the lips that is in the actual sculpture of the or life cast, and I wanted to replicate that too because it just looked too cookie cutter. I don't know. It didn't look natural. Just didn't look natural. Um, Now it's got a natural look to it, natural flow. There's a little too much of a bulge right in here. I made that subtle now. That's good. That's what we want. And the chin lines it's close enough. Look, you know what? I'm not gonna drive myself crazy with this. I can't because I'm at the point where okay, I see your pop up here. Hold on. Out of the corner of my eye, I still have to fix this in here. Yeah, I gotta carve that down. Or actually, no, I don't. I gotta let it dry now. Yeah, I'll tilt this up. I'll show you what I did underneath the chin. All right. Dot. Oh yeah, I'm gonna put that in there. I don't know. Should I? I had to bury it because I had to change this lip line. It was a little too smiley for my liking. It didn't look natural. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little, the little air bubble right in that corner again. That's nothing. That's a simple fix. Um, right now though, wait a minute. I carved in here a little bit to smooth out that little dent that was there. So the one thing about this sculpture and the life cast, so to speak, is our faces don't have any hard edges. We don't have hard edges. Even this here is kind of a hard edge for me. It's just so they have to be a little bit more smoother. Um, That's just done with naphtha. You just keep working it. You put your marks where they needed to be, like in here, but you got to really smooth them in. We're getting there, guys. We really are getting close. I'm getting close to happy. Close to happy. Because I put that naphtha on there, this outer edge is pretty soft yet, so I don't want to go crazy manipulating this clay too much because it's still very soft. I'll let that harden up for a few hours before, when I come back to it tonight, I'll do all my little fine tunings, because I'm trying to smooth it out to see where it might still need work. If you know what I mean. I want to get all the tool marks out of it. That's what I'm doing right now, getting all the tool marks out of the sculpture. And then from there, we what is that? Perfect. And I fixed the lips right. They're not like they were before. The lips were really just not right. And it just looked like too much of a smile here. These corner areas were way too big, so to speak. Dropping down, not subtle enough. It's weird. This sculpture is, there's yes, needs to be there. I definitely going to put the bubble back in. But even now, I can still see a little bit of an uplift to that, and to me, it looks a little too smiley. It needs to be, like, if you look at this, this is the actual life cast. All right, you see how the mouth is literally drooping down here. It's not sticking up in the air. It's not smiling. It is a little bit. This here, because this drops down, this little piece of action here. And this lower lip is way underneath of the upper lip. And I had to cut that back. That was another thing I did. I cut that back quite a bit. But I also am not trying to replicate this to a T. I'm trying to make this look more like the flashback, because we are headed in that direction. I rethought how I'm going to do this sculpture. And what mask gets done first, and second, and third, and fourth, so on and so forth. The new Halloween timeline, that mask is all going to be done from the same, it's going to be done from the flashback mask. Halloween 1 and 2 are going to be made from this sculpture, all right? And then once I get Halloween 1 and Halloween 2 done from this sculpture here, because I am going to do a Halloween 2. I'm going to change the eye cuts, just make them a little bit more narrow or look like they're stretched out a little bit more. I'm going to put a little bit of a bulge in this area here. You know, I don't know. Maybe I just leave it and just paint it Halloween 2. You know, I don't know. You tell me. Should I just paint it as a Halloween 2, or do I sculpt it into a Halloween 2, 1981? All right, and then I'm going to sculpt the flashback mask. All right, so we're going to do Halloween 1 original, Halloween 2 original, flashback mask. All right, and then from the flashback mask, we are going to do the H40, the kills, and the ends. And then finally, I'm going to do a concept ends mask, since they didn't really do too much to the sculpture. I have an ends mask here. Let me show it to you. I don't know if anybody went out and got one of these yet, but here's an ends mask right here. This is, and everybody's like, somebody said something about mayonnaise or something on there. It's not mayonnaise. It's actually a looks like felt or like lint. Lint from a dryer is all they did. Is like cotton, little pieces of cotton that they stuck all over this thing. I got a pretty good one here. I got a pretty good ends mask. I can see from the kills mask, I have that out there. They have changed the ear. They carved into it more. They really took a lot of detail. They cut out more in this area, on the neck area down here. There's more changes. There's changes there. It's pitted deeper right in here. This looks like it's smoothed over a little bit more, the cut. The eye cuts are pretty good. You know. The details in this mask are really good. They're strong. I'm going to be able to really overhaul this really nice. But I'm not selling it. I'm keeping it. I like this mask. It really popped out on the shelf. I went to I went to Spirit of Halloween, and I went to their main store, their headquarters store in Jersey. It's in Pleasantville, New Jersey. That's where they started the business, and I got a really good one. Let me see. Well then, you know, okay, I agree with that because I really don't feel like making an H2. So what I'm thinking about doing is with this sculpture is making a thin casted H2, and then I'm going to foam fill the inside of the head here so it stretches. Whoever wears it, it gives it that stretched look. And I might make even an extra smaller version, you know, a 24-inch version of my main sculpture. I might shrink it down even more, and that'll give us the exact look. I don't know if you guys seen the picture with me and Dick Warlock, or the video that's on my channel. We're singing a song. I think it was I Can See Clearly Now. It was just something goofy that we did. We didn't do that together. That was an app that I have that's pretty cool. And I just did it and I put it on the channel. But if you look at the size of me next to Dick Warlock, I'm huge next to Dick Warlock. I was a little shocked because I'd never met Dick Warlock in person before up until that point. And I was a little taken back on how small he really was, or is. Now, he's 82 years old. Do I think he was... I don't think he was much bigger than what he is now, but he definitely had, I'm sure at some point he had some more muscle tone to him and everything. You know, he wasn't that tiny. But I'm a big guy, and my brother's big, and sitting next to him, I look like a giant compared to him. And I think what it took me back. I really wasn't expecting him to be as small as he was, but it also showed me just how small that original Captain Kirk mask must have been. That thing must have been tiny, you know. And the weird thing is, see, I remember the mask as a kid when I worked at a place called the Fun Shop. And I mean, I seen that mask, that Captain Kirk mask in there, and it was made for a kid. It fit me perfect as a kid. Um, I was like 13, 14 years old. Might have been 13. I think I was 13 years old. Yeah, it was the summer of Jaws. The same summer the movie Jaws came out. And I was 13 years old, and I worked at that Fun Shop under the table. um, so basically, uh, you know, kind of had the chance to actually see that mask. I never messed with it because at that point Halloween wasn't out and nobody knew what that mask was going to look like. Um, Nobody knew that Michael Myers didn't exist at that time. So it wasn't until '78 when they made a Michael Myers mask. But what I'm getting at is I saw that mask there, but I was also a kid. So even if it looked big, it wasn't big. Um, Being an adult now and in seeing how small Dick Warlock really was, and seeing that mask got stretched out from the sides of his head, made me think, oh my God, that mask has to be very tiny. The original Captain Kirk mask had to have been a very small mask. Now, I don't know if anybody got the Trick or Treat Studios Kill Ends mask, but this thing is huge. This mask is big. It's I think it's 25 and a half inches is what, look how much, I mean, it's next to my sculpture. I mean, if you put that, let me see, oh, I don't have it in here. If I put the H40 mask next to this mask, that H40 dwarfs this. It's so small next to this sculpture. Yeah, look at the detail on that, guys. It's a beautiful mask. They did a better paint job to this, too. It don't look too bad. But it's still not movie accurate. And I think I grabbed one of the best copies available that was there. I'm keeping this for myself. I'm definitely keeping this mask for myself. Once I overhaul this, some people are like, "Oh, can you do mine? Can you do mine?" Fine, send me the mask and I'll overhaul it. But wait till I get this done, and we'll really make this thing pop. We'll make this thing look awesome. And I see what they did here. I'm just going to take some what do you call it? Lacquer thinner, and I'll wipe this down to take off all this fuzz. I'll get all that off, and then I'll do a repaint on it completely, and we'll have a new Trick or Treat Studios overhaul of this mask. Man, there's cotton inside the ear here. It's supposed to replicate mold. Well, mold to me is not white. Mold. There's another thing I want to do to this too, and I'm going to use an effect to give it even a dirtier look. Is I'll show you that in the video. You guys will get a kick out of that. I think you're going to be blown away with what I'm going to do. The hair on here is not bad. There's plenty of it on here. I don't think I need to really take too much of this off. I need to pull it away from the back of the neck here. There's plenty of hair on this mask. There was a couple of them that were in there that there was no hair on it. There was like barely any hair. This here's got plenty of hair. So I just have to pull it off the back of the neck and then make it look good. Come on. You know. The hairline, let me look at the hairline. Hairline could be adjusted a little bit. Not much, but it can be adjusted. There's really not too much I can do to the hair. I mean, I can fluff it. I can bring it up a little bit. Um, yeah, I'll make the changes that need to be changed. But it'll look good when I'm done. It'll look good. So it's actually a cool mask. It's a really good job. It's a pretty nice job with the paint job. I guess the Kills mask. Man, it was so bad. The paint job. It looked like mustard yellow all over the mask. It was terrible. Yeah, you're right. Takeoff vision. I am. I'm going to just use this mask for 1 and 2. And then I'll just jump right to the flashback. And I'll make the flashback identical. And then from the flashback, I'll do should I do the flashback and then make the flashback into the 2018? Or should I make this into the 2018? What do you think? I really like the way this looks. Yeah, this has really changed. It has changed the look. Let me see if I can get that square to you guys. See how the eyebrow even looks right now up here? It's not, dipping down or level with the other one. This is sinking down far now, and this is, we're on to something here. Oh yeah. I have a couple guys that love it. Pipe Master loves the flashback mask. He absolutely loves it. Myself, I'm really kind of not into the flashback mask. There's certain looks on the flashback that I do like, and then there's certain things I don't like about the flashback. I don't know how to put my finger on it. I don't like the eye cuts. I definitely don't like the eye cuts in the flashback mask. I don't like that I don't know. There's something about the way it looks underneath here, on the outsides of the sculpture. Um, okay, the nose. When you say the nose needs work, where do you think it needs to work at? The nose. Widened? Where? See, I'm looking at this nose, and it looks like it's. Let me get this out of my hand. I got to put this back up on the hook. On the hook. All right. Now. All right. Oh, I don't want to turn it. I'm looking at this. Now, would you say that this is a good looking nose on here? Is this what you want me to do, just like this? Let's make it simple, because if I replicate this nose, we're on the money. We're close. There's a couple things I have to do to it to make it look like that. But what do you think? This nose? Is this what you want me to do? Let's look at it. Do we want to do that nose? Yeah, I think so too. I'm thinking that too. I think I might do that. I might replicate this nose. And it's simple to do. Oh my God, it's so simple. It's insane the way this thing's done. It actually has a point right here, and there's like a cut off on each side of that, and it's a little wider right in here. There's a little bit of a high spot, like right up in this area. If you look at the profile, almost looks like a witch's nose. It's in a little bump. I think I'm going to replicate that nose. I do. I think I want to replicate this nose. Yeah, man. First thing I have to do, since I'm going to replicate this nose, is put it in such a way where I can see the shadowing. I have it down below where you guys can't really see it too well, but I got it in a good spot where I can see the shadow. And I have to dig. Okay. First things first. I know I'm blocking your view, but I got to do this comfortably. I'll show you what I do, what I'm doing once I get done here. Okay, let me read your. Either you, maybe you can make that dent on the forehead a bit bigger. The dent, you mean in here? The forehead. The dent. In here. Here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what you're talking about. The dent. Is it going to be either here, here, or here? In here? This is the right side. This is the right eyebrow. Now, believe it or not, you see how this is? It's pretty accurate to what I did here. My scowl is pretty accurate to this life cast. Take a look. Oh, you mean the dent that goes in here? Yeah, I still have to put that in. There's a little dent that's there. I know. Yeah, I know that. That's going to go in. That's going to go in. I'm just not done yet. I'm just trying to fix what I can fix. Hold on, I just messed up my. Okay. No, I can't. I'm blocking your view. I know I am. Give me a sec here. One nostril at a time. That looks a little better. Now I got to do this side. Yeah, what do you want? Anybody there?
See what you were doing.
I'm live. I'm live on YouTube.
What did you say?
I'm live on YouTube. I'm doing a video. Yeah, don't stand. I got the camera behind you.
I'll go around it. Yeah, okay. Sorry. Oh, yeah, I can see myself there.
Yeah, you're.
What do you call it? You photograph it while you're doing it?
Oh yeah, I'm live. I'm on YouTube right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're live. There's people on watching it. Yeah, just don't hit the camera.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to dig into this a little bit. Right in here, guys.
Are you talking to anybody?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
but I'm kind of concentrating right now, so.
Yeah, okay. I won't say anything.
It's my mother-in-law, guys.
What?
She's staying with us for a couple of days. Their heater went out on her.
Oh, okay.
So, my mother-in-law loves to watch me sculpt. Don't you? Is there a chair back there?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll sit down. I just like to watch when you do it, because I was always interested in it too, but I never got started.
The subtleties is where the magic's at. It's all the little things that. Now, I may have to build this up just a little bit right in this corner. I have to add a little piece right in here. A little more, not much. I don't want to add too much on there. Oh, that's too much. That's too much. Noses are the most difficult things to do
Yeah, I would think so.
because they're not perfect. And your face dictates how you frown, how you move your, when you make a smile,
Yeah,
you get your natural creases.
it's very lifelike.
And I'm going to put a little bump across this bridge of this nose because that's what's there. And
Are you going to paint that one like you did the other two there?
yeah, once I get it done, I'm going to sculpt.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going to mold this probably Tuesday. You can watch that too if you want to. I'll be going outside here doing it though. Yeah, I have to look at it dead on. Yes, that's the one. Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. That little dent that's right in here. As a matter of fact, I still have a little bit of a dent right there, if you can see it. That's just a starter. That just gives me the spot of where it's going to be. There's your little dent. Let's get this nose done. I gotta smooth it in with my hand since my clay is nice and soft at this point. And I think, let me take a look at this nose dead on. Yeah, I see what the problem is. Alrighty. I see what the problem is. Alright, so see, I'm replicating this nose.
Oh, is that what?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I knew you had it there for a reason.
yeah, I'm looking at this nose. I'm trying to
Oh.
replicate that nose.
Okay. Yes, noses are very distinguished.
Yes, they are.
Everybody has a different type of nose.
And this is William Shatner's nose. I'm trying to make William
Oh,
Shatner's
okay.
nose. This is his life cast copy.
Oh,
That's his actual life cast
it
mask.
looks like it, yeah.
Um,
I do, especially like in the movies. I always like to see what style or type of nose they have. Some that have a ski nose like Bob Hope.
oh yeah. Yeah, Bob Hope had a nose, all right. He had
Yeah.
a pointy nose, man. His nose was really pointy.
Yeah.
It's funny when you're an artist. You know, you look at ears, you look at noses, and you want to, and you instantly think, oh wow, how hard would that be to sculpt? You know, I start thinking about noses when I, especially like Bob Hope, and
Yeah.
they had specific looking looks. All right, so now we're going to really, and I'm probably going to have to use a little bit of tool work in here. smoothing because the clay's warm, and the clay really moves nice when it's warm. When the clay's hard, you can't really do too much with it. Now I still have the under part that has to be done here. Okay. So I have the point in place. The point's pretty much there. Let me just refine that point just a little bit. Okay, now what I'm going to do, nope, not with that tool. Where'd my tool go? There it is. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it down just a little bit in this area. On both sides. Yeah, I got to watch it because
Do you feel more comfortable now making the ears?
oh, I've never actually ears were never a problem.
Oh,
I never had problems with ears. I've always had problems with the nose.
oh, okay.
The nose is more difficult to do than the ears. The reason why is, this is my point on this. I think the reason why the noses are more difficult is because you have a sharpness to it, and then it's got a smooth into a round, nice, soft.
Oh,
It all blends.
yeah,
It's hard to explain. But noses are, I think, are
yeah.
the hardest things to do.
But like I say, everybody does have a distinguishing nose.
And now we're going to work on smoothing it. Just trying to make it look accurate. So when I do this, I usually make the bulge where I need the bulge to be. I bulk it out where I need it to be. I need it bulked out in this area here because it comes back into its narrowness in here. It's narrow and then it bulges out just a little bit and then it goes into the nostrils. So this side still needs a little more bulk. Not much, but just a little bit. Right in there. Now what I've noticed on this side, let me take a look. What am I missing? Look, see. Okay. All right, I see what the problem is. Right there. There wasn't enough clay right in that spot. Guess what, guys? We're getting close. We're getting close. Be a nice nose when I'm done. It's going to look just like William Shatner's nose. Okay, so now we're going to now we're getting all the real crazy lumps out. That's what I'm working on now, getting all the lumps, crazy lumps out of it. Something is bothering me on this side, and I'm trying to place what it is. What is it? Uh-huh. Sometimes your best tool are your fingers, your feel. You can feel things. You can feel the
Yes,
shape.
exactly.
You can't always look at a shape. As an artist,
Yeah,
your
good.
fingers are your best tools.
Right.
You can't substitute it with a tool. You just can't. I don't care how I can feel where the shape needed to be changed. Okay. Now what I'm doing is I'm pulling down the point. The point of this nose comes down just a little bit right in here, and I'm pulling it down to make it come together there. And it's got that crookedness that this has now. It has the little bulge that's right there, right before you get to the tip of the nose. There's a little bit of a bulge, and I put that in here already. And now I'm just smoothing it out so it looks more natural. true test is coming up in a second when I turn this on its profile, so I can see the profile of it. When I look at it, I'm going to look at it from that angle. I need to turn its profile.
Oh, that's good.
Too much stuff in the way.
Gives it a lot more personality.
All right, now guys, see the
Yeah.
profile? Hold on. Let me move it. There you go. Now you can see the profile. All right, so there's the profile. Let me put the mask up towards it.
Yeah, the profile, yeah.
Trying to make it so you can see. I need to add a little bit more, just a touch more, not much more. And I'm also looking at the angle. All right, let me try to change the face angle. I want to see the pitch on the... I'm almost there. That is pretty close, guys. Hold on. Okay. You know what I need to do now?
Yeah, that's good.
And how I'm going to make that appear to be a little bit bulging out a little bit more is I'm going to carve into the top of this nose just a little bit.
In the background there, is that a figure 8 or is that a pretzel?
What's that?
In the back there of you, look straight ahead
Oh
and back.
no, that's a pair of scissors that I extended.
Yeah.
Now we're going to get all the little tool marks out of this thing, and we're going to hit it with naphtha. And I think I'm just going to put just a tad bit more clay right in here. What the hell that came out of? Just a little pinch. I'm going to make a worm. Just going to put it right on the bridge of the nose, right there. Push it in. Just to give us that little extra bulge that was missing. Not much.
That's good.
Okay. Yeah, I don't care what anybody says, man. Nothing's going to change. If you can't feel what you're seeing, then you don't belong sculpting.
No. Well, it goes to your mind, and it's your mind that, helps to produce everything.
Yeah, my mind keeps playing tricks on me. I keep seeing new things. That's the problem with the sculpture. his face is very difficult. His face is very, very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It's very, very human-like.
well, it is. It's actually his life cast, so it is actually his face, and that's why we're trying to replicate a real human face here. And I'm new to this business. I've never worked with clay in my life. I've only done relief carving in wood. I've never worked with clay up until 2 years ago. So I'm learning as I go. I'm no master at this. There's guys that are a lot faster than I am. Fast doesn't always mean good, though. Remember that. You can be fast, but not real accurate. You think? Takeoff vision looks pretty good. Looks so much better.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
looks
it does. It looks more.
looks so much better. It looks human.
I'm just trying to take the tool marks out. That's all I'm trying to do. Well, at least we got to see the transition of the nose in this. I don't even call it a tutorial, but oh, that's I almost dug in too deep there. Hold on. Oh, I need my other tool for this on the side. The Eagles game comes on at 4 o'clock. I definitely want to catch that. All right, so
Yeah, that's good.
do that on there. Just taking the lumps out of it now. All right, now I got to get into here. You see where
Mm-hmm.
I didn't smooth that out yet? Got to get into here. Oops. I see something just popped up. Looks so much better, right? Yeah, I think so too. I think it looks more natural. Looks more natural now. All right, so I see a little bit of a dent
Exactly. It
right
goes
in
into
here.
the cheek area.
I see a little bit more of a dent. There's a dent right there where this old one came together with this top one, so I have to fix that. Very little piece. What are we doing out there? Okay. Now I can really smooth that out. I got that dent out of there. Clean my knife off. Clean my little tool off. Now I'm just trying to get all the little tiny mountains of clay to smooth it out into a nice glasses. No clumps. And always work your clay in every direction. Don't try to stay in one spot. Don't go. You got to kind of work it everywhere because you don't want any lines. Yeah, I think noses are my worst. I think I have a hard time with noses. Just want to get it to the point where I'm ready to put some naphtha on this to smooth it out really nice. I mean, I can replicate anything. I really feel like as long as I have a three-dimensional, really good look at this thing, I think the hardest thing is doing things from pictures because you don't really get a really good representation of what it really looks like. But if you have the like, if I'm not going to have any problems with doing these other masks that already exist. I'm on board with that takeoff vision. I'd sure I'm going to share it with groups and stuff. I guess I can. I mean, share what the video of what I'm doing here when it's done. Share it with other groups. Is what you're saying, right? On Facebook. That's my worst part. Is I'm not real good at social media. It's my weakest part of this. That's why I don't have a lot of followers yet. I got to get better at that. You know, I'm just not. I'm not on top of how to do all this stuff. Technology. I'm 60. I'm not. You know, one of you young bucks out there that are, you know, really on top of the computer stuff. Sure, why not? Yeah, I'll do anything. I'm trying to grow my. This is like really really trying to grow the channel, YouTube channel, to get it, monetized where it starts making money and promote it. And this isn't really about selling the mask as much as it is trying to make my YouTube channel bigger. As residual income, well, it's not residual. You know why it's not residual? Because you got to constantly make new videos. So residual is when something's out there and it just makes you money, automatically just keeps making money for you. YouTube, you don't get that. All right, let me show you a dead-on shot of this now, and you tell me what you think.
Yeah, that's great.
Um,
It is more lifelike. I like the lips too. Those are good.
oh yeah, still got some smoothing to do. And here's what I'm going to do. Let me show you what it looks like after I brush this. I'm going to smooth it out with some naphtha. That takes all the tool marks out. But also reveals anything that's not quite right. That's why I like to use the naphtha, because it really reveals any of the things that are really not finished. I can already see a spot right in here. I got to get right in there. I can't see the other side. Hold on. Let me do this first, and then I'll reveal the finished product. This thing's dirty. You want to make sure your brush is clean. Now, because it's so wet, I'm gonna.
It's really good, John.
Not bad, huh?
Yeah.
Not bad for a beginner.
Real lifelike, you know.
But my mother-in-law, she's definitely biased.
Yeah.
She goes, yeah.
That's-
Okay, just share your mold as pics and stuff and promote it. I will definitely do that. All right, so now take a look at it. Take off vision, what do you think? All right, now I already can tell this is a spot right here that I gotta fix. Perfect. You're seeing a dead on shot. And let me take I can't really mess with this now. I can't touch it because now this is all melted.
It leads into the
Looks
cheek area.
perfect.
Huh?
Hey, I like hearing perfect. It's when you got to change this little thing over here. When you change that little thing over there, everything else gets screwed up. All right, so let's turn it profile. Ooh, I don't like
that's
the way that
good.
profile looks. Hold on. Yeah, no, that looks good. All right.
Yeah, that's really good.
You see that little crook in the nose? Let me make sure you guys can see it. All right, let's go back this way a little bit. There's a delayed signal. I have to wait for the camera to catch up to what I'm doing.
Yeah, I took notice of that.
All All right, so now you can see the little crook in the nose. And let me try to line this up and make sure that the lip line is going the exact same way that that is.
No buck teeth, huh?
Let's go a little further over and just kind of keep moving it.
Very good.
A little higher. You guys get the idea, right? What do you think? Are we on the money or what? Are we close enough? Nothing's ever going to be exact. As a real sculpture, I mean, if you're exact, man, you're in the wrong business. Actually, you're in the right business if you're exact. And your master making a lot of money. So, yeah. Yeah, that does look a lot better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very lifelike.
Realistic looking. There's no. The other one looked too perfect.
Yeah.
It looked too perfect.
Yeah.
I was making a perfect nose instead of a real nose, and I have that dent there, but it's not blended yet. So what I'm going to do. All right, that dent's there now. Now, to fix that dent so it makes it, what time is it? Shoot, my clock's covered. I can't see my clock. All right. I still got to put the wrinkles across the forehead and everything. Oh yeah, that's so much better. Very realistic looking.
Are you still on YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear me?
Yes.
Oh,
I'm still
okay.
on. Yeah, me too, Takeoff Vision. I have my, was it 25 pounds? Yeah, I bought 25 pounds of dental plaster to add to my Ultra Cal 30 for extra strength. But the Ultra Cal 30 is fine. There was nothing wrong with the Ultra Cal 30. It was totally my fault. I made the mix too thin. And when I made the mix too thin with that Ultra Cal 30, it made it more fragile. And when I went to try and take the mold apart, it completely wrecked it, so to speak. Now I'm looking at the camera and I'm looking at the lighting and everything, and it just looks a little too. There's a little dent right in here. Let me just try and. Yeah, I gotta put a little piece of clay in there, but I gotta wait. Yeah, I gotta wait till this hardens up again. I'll just show you where it's at. It's too small a piece. I'm just trying to shape it to the shape of where the dent actually is. Now I'll leave it there because I don't want to, it's too soft from putting the naphtha on here. So I'll leave that on there, and this will harden up by the night. I'll be able to smooth that in real nice, that little dent. And yeah, naphtha's no joke, man. It melts the outer edges of this, but that's how you get rid of all your tool marks from your knife marks and everything that are in the sculpture. You do it with the magic potion right here. It's called naphtha. All right, and all this is really lighter fluid. That's all that is that's what lighter fluid's made from, is this naphtha stuff. Very dangerous though. Try not to get it on your hands. Try not to use it on, highly, it causes a lot of cancer.
Oh, it's flammable, isn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah, it's lighter fluid.
Yeah.
But I'm done for the day, guys. Take off vision. Thanks for the eyes on, because I definitely need your eyes at times. And I'm glad I changed that nose. I'm so much happier. I changed the scowl. The scowl's protruding further out. We got the double ripple in here now. It looks good. The nose is now more accurate. The lips, they're there. They're. I don't need to really do anything more than that. I do have to smooth out and make the ears a little bit nicer. There's not too much left to do there, and then I think by Tuesday, because I'm going to sculpt tonight, I'm going to sculpt all day tomorrow to really fine tune this sucker, and then Tuesday my plan is to mold this thing. I don't really have too much to do to the top of the head or the back of the head or anything. This is where I'm working. I want this as perfect as I can possibly make it to the actual William Shatner look. Once I get that where I need it to be, I'm going to make this thing. No, thanks to you, buddy. You're the one watching, and I thank you. I thank you for being on here and being my second set of eyes. It's always nice to have somebody that really knows what they're looking at. And I'll tell you, how I know is because when I see the changes taking place, and you go, and when you make your comment saying, "Oh, now that looks a lot better," boom, I know you have an eye. I know you have a keen eye. So I trust your eyes. I trust your eyes, my friends. And thank you for following me on here. But I got to bounce because I got to go to the bathroom, man. I'm holding it in. I'm holding it in, and I want to go watch the Eagles. They're getting ready to come on. Kickoff show. Yep, yeah, it just popped up. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. And, all you guys out there that have been following me through this process, it's long, it's tedious, but in the end, we're going to have a really, really, really nice mask, I hope. And, you guys can order it whenever you're ready. No rush, not trying to get rich off my stuff. I'm not selling my stuff for thousands of dollars. It's not going to happen. I'm going to make it affordable for you guys. How's that? Let's just say that. Let me jump off of here. I got to go. Peace.